you new here? My name's Percy. What's yours?
Percy, it's me, Lightning McQueen.
Funny. We've got someone called... You what? But you're blue! What happened to your red paint?
Why didn't I tell you all? This is my new racing livery now, but this is only for racing events and special occasions.
I gotta admit, you look great in blue. You're now the same livery as Doc Hudson.
Who's Doc Hudson?
Doc is the fabulous Hudson Hornet, who was once, as racer, now he's Lightning McQueen's crew chief, and they won several Piston Cups over the last few years. Speaking of which, whatever happened to Doc these days? We haven't seen him for the last 6 years.
Oh, I don't think now's a good time to discuss about him, Percy.
One autumn's night on the island of Sodor, Thomas and Percy were the only engines at Tidmouth Sheds. However, Lightning McQueen, the veteran NASCAR race car, was with them.
These levers are gonna jam the table.
Leaves don't jam turntables, McQueen. If they were twigs, that would be a completely different story.
You sure?
Positive.
Say, Lightning, I have something I wanted to ask you.
What's that, Percy?
This is a little strange, but where's Doc been for the last 7 years?
Oh, that.
The Hudson Haven.
Well, it's rather complicated, and it's not a really nice thing to discuss nowadays, Percy.
How is it not nice? All I want to know is what happened to him.
Yeah, what's wrong, McQueen? Is there something we should know?
I haven't talked about this for a long time, you two. But I think it's time you knew.
Okay.
You remember when Mater, myself, and the others went for a little holiday back to Radiator Springs for 3 months? Before the sheds were rebuilt, and Bill and Ben were sold to the other railway because of that bet the Fat Controller made with Mr. Jones?
Of course.
This was the story McQueen told the two.
Well, it all happened during the summer. Doc was helping me train for the Piston Cup season of 2011.
You ready to blow a little carbon out there, boy?
Yes, I am. It was a cracking good summer. Mater was there too, tracking the speed of the race. I remember when I slid into the cactus pitch for the second time.
Give it too much, and you're in the tulips.
Mater couldn't stop laughing. He probably knew you was gonna crash. Again. We had a lot of good times during the summer. I remember one time in Doc's workshop.
Hey, Lightning, you might want to take notes on this.
He was one of the best bonnet balancers in Carburetor County. He still holds that record in the town, and no one, not even a newcomer, could even beat that record, even if they tried. Really was a great one. But hard times fell upon me and Mater.
What happened?
It was a horrid night. Rain was pelting down from the sky. Since we were in a hot place, we usually get a whole lot of rain once in a while. This night was very different.
How so?
Well, it was raining hard, and this was 6 nights before I went away to win the Piston Cup. We were outside on Willie's Butte. I'm not sure I can do this, Doc.
You scared?
Yeah,
Use that.
those words stuck with me for the rest of my life, and it's a sad thing to look back on. Never really understood why I was out there with him in the first place. We drove up Willie's Butte, and after 3 laps, I was doing great. Doc was behind me. I noticed some smoke coming out of his tailpipe. I started to see that the grandpa I worked with for a long time was not going to live for long.
So, he died?
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you about it because, well, you'd probably be freaked out by it a little bit.
Freaked out? We would have been devastated!
That's the reason it wouldn't be right to see you guys so upset. It would have been frightening.
You didn't have to keep this a secret for 7 years, McQueen. If a Fat Controller lost Peter from a disease, he would have told everyone. And even if we did cry about it so much, so what? It shows how much we'd all care about him.
Exactly! We would have bawled our eyes out about Doc's news. We've been close friends for years now, so of course it made us cry. It's okay to express your emotions. Everyone expresses their emotions every once in a while, whether happy or sad.
I guess you're right. I wish I could talk to him again.
You might see him in the next world.
Really think so?
I know so.
Hello, McQueen. Nice to see you visit from time to time. What are you doing here? I've been having a chat with Thomas and Percy, and we came up with a little story I think you might enjoy.
Nice to see you, McQueen.
Hello, McQueen.
Hello, McQueen.
And so, he told the same story he told Thomas and Percy. Everyone was amazed by this. Thomas and Percy winked at each other. When McQueen got to the part of Doc's death, the engines had tears in their eyes. Emily even started to softly cry, but the others didn't cry. However, McQueen added another part to the story.
When I got to my pit stop, I told Bob Cutlass and our car trip about Doc's passing, and they even suggested the idea of remodeling the model of the Cup in the shape of Doc, which is the reason why the Cup is now known as the Hudson Hornet Piston Cup.
Well, McQueen, I have to say, that story had to be the best one I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
That's a great jump from you being a young rookie racer to being a crew chief.
I don't really see how racers are that special, to be honest, but it's a great story.
Well, James, Doc once told me something. Racers should remember it's just an empty cup.
And even though you have a really strong feeling, You learned to never let it get the better of you. And sometimes talking about it makes you feel better.
Yep.
Now, if only we got James to let go of his feelings about his red coat of paint.
Hey!
McQueen's story gave everyone a big surprise that night, and even though it was sad, he learned a valuable lesson he never encountered before. I wonder if people ask about Doc Hudson's death. Don't you?